Welcome back, guys. Welcome back. Happy Friday to you. Happy Friday afternoon. A little later in the day now. It is 3:01 here on the left coast. Thank you for tuning in. If you could hit that like button, turn it up, share it out, guys. Thank you so much for being here. We appreciate you. Again, happy Friday, man. What a long week, huh? Well, a lot of stuff is happening in the weeks right now. We're going to bring up some stuff. We got some protests going on. I'm going to show you some of that, some of the rowdiness going on. We also have Trump. He did a press conference. I listened to it. I listened to it for at least an hour. Some things you just gotta love that guy talk. And we got a lot more. Plus, well, maybe I shouldn't say it. Why is this going off already? There we go. Let's hit live. Let's see who we got in here right now. We got Robert Benji. Hello, Robert Benji. Caden, Texas. Why won't it show? Oh, week's vacation starts now. Nice. Susan Spencer, hello. First Amendment Media. Cool deal. We also got, make sure you share it out. I'm going to wait for some people to get in here and go from there. Let me put this up here. See what's going on. Got to have some good juice. Charred with a hard R's in the house. Mater TJ. What is up? So, yeah, we're going to be covering some stuff. We are going to be hitting the road here, it looks like, in a couple hours. So stay tuned. If you haven't followed us on Kick or Twitch, now's your opportunity, because when we're on the drive-in chat, it's not news related. It's fun. It's behind the scenes. So if we decide to do a live, which I think we will, we'll be on Kick or Twitch, Kick and Twitch. So go make sure you're following us on there. And I just want to say thank you to you all. I just want to tell you how much this is messing up. I'm getting so many different numbers on my viewers right now. Letting people jump in. One says I have like 56. This one says I have 28. Robert Benji says, tonight I'm going to send you a video of me wearing a Trump shirt that I bought from you. Thank you, Robert Benji. Speaking of that, Robert Benji, that was $10. That got you entered into the raffle. We are doing the raffle at the end of this show, so stay with us. I'm going to show you this right now. These are the people we have in the raffle. Let me add you, Robert, to the raffle right now. So Robert will go down here. And again, that raffle is for a $75 gift card to our website and the Make Speech Free Again hat, whichever one you decide, red, pink, or camo. So at the end of the show, if you have donated $10, if you've donated $30 from yesterday to today, because again, we're trying to finance some stuff, then you will get a, is that live? You will get entered into the raffle, which will be done randomly on here. All you have to do is, if you do a $20 donation, that's 2 entries. Venmo at Oreo Josh, Cash App, $Oreo Army, givesendgo.com/Oreo 2024. And then we also have a Zelle link. If you want to if you choose Zelle, you can go to Zelle. And that is on our website at theoreoexpress.com. And when you go, you scroll down a little, you'll see a donate now button. We appreciate you. Oh, man, First Amendment Media. He doesn't know, but thank you, First Amendment Media. He's actually in this drawing because last night, so I'm going to add you too again, Matt. So we got Matt. Let me pull this up. Matt is right here underneath Jalen, because Men Rule, both Matt and Jalen did a Rumble rant last night. And because, it's Matt's wallet, I combined them together and put it with Matt, and Jalen did a Cash App last night. So she's in. So now Matt's in twice. Karen says, good day, Josh, everyone from Kansas. Shared to 3 sites. Yeah, so you guys got about 20 minutes. I don't think this is going to be a very long show. If you do want to get in the raffle, just donate on those $10, $20, $30, $10 increments. Help us out. We appreciate it. We got to pay one of our biggest bills, which is one of our data phone bills, and we got to pay that last week. So, and then we need a little money. We might have to grift on our live stream tonight for a hotel because we're driving a few hours away. So get used to it. We got to do some things. So let's jump on and see what we got first. Let me show you this first. Here's some of the items that are on. Again, this is for a $75 gift card and one of 3 of those hats. So one of those hats. And here's some of our gear right here. We have our Doge shirts on there. Democrats officially getting exposed shirts. We got different brands. We got the Gulf of America. I like this one. This is a front and back. The front says Gulf of America, and then the back it has Trump on a raft. We got the more ice, please. We got all kind of stuff. So if you guys want to get in, again, you have about 20 minutes today because, again, this isn't going to be that long of a show. So I wanted to show you about a video that's been circulating. And I couldn't tell if it was a girl or not, but it was a girl. And that once I looked at it, and people were outraged at the video. And then now we have some context behind it. Take a look at this. Come on.
Oh, no. Why is she talking about on crazy? A hydro flash is crazy work, man. Oh no, baby. Bro, tell you guys, chill the fuck out. Damn, nigga. Oh, yo, damn. Nigga, knock him out. Knocked out, bro. Yeah. She's knocked out, bro. You nigga, she's trying to hit that nigga.
So apparently that happened in a school here in good old California while Gavin Newsom's tweeting about Trump's budget deal. You know, his schools are falling apart. This is daily in California. And it was actually, and a lot of people instantly wanted this kid's name, the guy and everything. Well, it turns out the female high school student was the bully and the one that started it. She got knocked out cold by a classmate. She went after that classmate to start off the whole thing with a metal bottle, like not this one, but you know those metal bottles. And how you like that? My buddy Mike got me that. He brought that over, so I gotta. And it says, according to police, the 14-year-old girl tried hitting the boy multiple times with a metal bottle at Jehu Middle School in San Bernardino, California. When the metal bottle didn't work, the girl could be seen throwing a laptop before the boy knocked her out. Colton police says the girl was the aggressor and the boy was the victim. However, this doesn't make any sense. They were both charged. The girl with felony assault charge and the boy with misdemeanor battery charge. There should have been no charges against that boy right there. He's just standing there most times. She's doing all this. At some point, I don't care. We have equality now. You know what I mean? Where's my feminists out there that support men more than they do women? At some point, and for decades, all a woman needed to do was break her nail in something. And if a guy was involved, it was, oh my God, lock him up, throw away the key. Luckily, there was enough witnesses here that spoke with police that said, hey, she was the aggressor. He was just standing there. She was going after him, and he's just he pushes her off numerous times. She was the bully. Maybe I'm thinking Matt says it's a good case. at FAFO. Yeah, that is a good case of FAFO. Maybe we should look at the parents behind that bully or lack thereof, right? And again, I don't think, I'm pretty sure the misdemeanor battery, I'm sure the felony assault charge will be dropped down to a misdemeanor and won't be that big of a deal. But the misdemeanor battery charge for the boy, let's hope that is dropped and he doesn't have to deal with that for much longer. So protesters now are marching outside of Columbia. This was earlier this morning, marching outside of Columbia University in Manhattan after reports of DHS raids on campus and an additional arrest by federal government. Now, there was, I think I might have told you about that other arrest. There was another arrest from somebody I covered on the last show from the West Bank. This person was arrested during the protest back in, was it June or July of last year? That person is now going to be deported back to Gaza, the West Bank. Good for them. Free, get your ass to Palestine. And so, it sounds like this is going to be the new norm for our federal government, which we support 100%. But let me show you some of this video here.
I was a student here.
I was a student here.
Until they expelled me.
Until they expelled me.
And I say, and I say from the bottom of my heart.
And I say from the bottom of my heart.
That I'm honored.
That I'm honored.
That I'm proud.
That I'm proud.
That I'm overwhelmed with gratitude.
That I'm overwhelmed with gratitude.
To be standing here.
To be standing here.
With everyone on the sidewalk.
With everyone on the sidewalk.
Alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah.
You will see.
They don't know what's about to come down. They don't know there's a new sheriff in town. And then it looked like there was, this was them out there praying outside of Columbia University after the arrest and suspension of students. Take a look. This is also some Freedom News TV.
And a problem. And we believe that and we follow in his legacy today.
This does not look like America.
If you've been reviewing your Quran this month, in the sacred month of Ramadan, you've probably come across the story of Joseph. Yusuf alayhi salam. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the beginning of Surah Yusuf that the story of Joseph is one of the best stories. Joseph as a prophet is one of the prophets that we have, that we believe in, just like the rest of the prophets, just as Christians and Jews also believe in Prophet Joseph. And you guys know the story. It's a very, very familiar story. His brothers are jealous of him. And so we want to double click on that part with Zulayman just for a minute.
So they're blocking their, I'm just telling you, man, it's, you want to come to this country, you assimilate. I don't care. Call me racist. Call me what you want. If you want to value your traditions, value what you do, stay in your country. It looks like protester outside of Columbia University scuffle with a man after allegedly taking his camera. Police removed the man from the scene. Unclear if the camera was returned. These are the violent cockroach pro-Hamas people that we just need to stand against. You have, they keep saying Trump wants to take away your First Amendment right. If you have a camera in public, you have a right to film whatever you want. And if these cockroaches here with dishcloths wrapped around their face have an issue with it, they can't take the camera. They can go into their basement. It's where their privacy. There is no expectation to privacy in public. And not just that, they want attention. They're out there for attention. Take a look at this. This disgusts me.
Where's that camera?
What's he mean?
Where's that camera? Somebody threw it.
Boom!
Somebody
Love it.
threw it. No, somebody else
out. Get him out. Back up. No. Get him out. 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 Somebody do it. Do that shit. You do it scared, man. Go. Do it scared, my camera. No.
He threw his camera. Yeah. Look at these people. They identify these cockroaches. Cockroach.
Let's get back to the march. Get back to the march. Let's get back to the march. Let's get back to the march.
He's insane! Absolutely insane!
We had this camp. Somebody said we had this camp. We had it? Somebody said we had it.
My camera is not gone. Maybe we get on my body.
As you can see that these people don't value America. They don't value the free speech. If they valued free speech, they probably would let the man have his camera. $10 for a face rag. KLM 79 has just been entered into the drawing that we are doing at the end of the show. Let me put this up in here and add KLM 79 to that. Right under Robert Benji, KLM 79. Thank you, KLM 79, for a face rag. These people, man, these people, I'm telling you. So you have those people doing that. They're just First Amendment rights according to the left. Now look at one of the people that was arrested yesterday at the Trump Tower in New York City. We covered that in one of our shows yesterday. Meet June Rose, of course, Democrat, right? June Rose, queer chief of staff for the Providence, Rhode Island City Council and a Democrat delegate to the DNC. Democrats, you're never going to go anywhere with these people. I'm just telling you. There's a reason why your party's fighting. There's a reason why America has said no more to you, and this is one of them. He was arrested yesterday for joining the mob of protesters who invaded Trump Tower in New York. Trump Tower in New York City. And it says, this is from Libs of TikTok, seems totally stable. Now, I honestly thought this at first was RW, but it's not. This is him. And I just think it's hilarious. Let's see the next picture of him being arrested. Totally grassroots, folks. Totally just upset American people. No, the non-binary queer chief of staff for the Providence, Rhode Island City Council and Democrat delegate to the DNC. Like, Democrats scream mental illness. I'm sorry, but the party I was raised with, the party who agreed on the basic fundamental principles of this country, had different ways of going about it. Cared about our students, cared about our borders, cared about our budgets. This is your new Democrat Party. That is what's trying to destroy the country. So outside in Washington, D.C., people are protesting. We covered a little bit outside of the Capitol. We covered this a little while ago. They're out there. There's signs against Donald Trump, Elon Musk, and the CR, which we're going to talk about here in a minute because it is past cloture. Take a listen.
First line that pops up is Felix Sater is a Russian criminal. Shooting everywhere. You cannot beat lawless people with laws. You cannot people with rules who do not and have not ever followed rules. Criminal political mercenary named Paul Manafort, a man with zero morals. A man named Julian Zelensky.
So cool. Where's the American flags, folks? You said you got a sign that says "Save the veteran of the VA."
Since I spoke last,
That is what Antifa looks
that
like.
Pops up is Felix Sater is a Russian criminal. Shooting everywhere. You cannot be
Ukrainian flags,
people
rainbow
with
flags,
laws.
trans flags.
You cannot
Oh, there's an
be
American
people with
flag.
rules who do not and have not ever followed rules. Criminal political mercenary named Paul Manafort, a man with zero morals. A man named Julian Zelensky.
Oh, just crazy. And we do got Nola jumped in to let me add Nola down here to the raffle. My brain, it is Friday. My brain is shot. Let me do this. And you got 5 minutes to get in. Only 5 minutes. We're closing this up. Nola is in right there. And we'll do that. And again, we'll do it at the end of the show, but only 5 more minutes left before we're closing that out. Guess who else is out there? One of the biggest J6 traders of them all, Harry Dunn. Listen to Harry Dunn. He's upset. He's upset, and there's might be some cuss words in here, so earmuffs for the children. Let's listen.
November 5th, we had an opportunity. We had, and you know what? Fucked it up. People sat at home. People got complacent. Maybe. People got complacent. People, you know what? America failed me.
Failed you?
If I could be honest, America failed me. We had the opportunity. This ain't about tariffs. This ain't about policy and gender. This is about what's fucking right and what's fucking wrong.
America failed him, guys. The traitor cop who lied under oath, and video evidence will prove that and has proven that. We've covered that extensively. So this traitor cop is a little worried now. America didn't fail him. America is going to hold him accountable. You wait and see. You wait and see. There's actually a clip we're going to talk about. We haven't talked about it much, but we did talk about the other day how maybe Trump or Biden's pardons weren't legit. It looks like some of those pardons were signed by an auto pen that was controlled by one of his staff. And it seems like there might have been a lot of things. So they're checking out the constitutionality of all that. But again, I hope that man rots in jail. He's a coward. He's just like Michael Fanone. And they need to be held responsible. What's this? U.S. aid workers clears out their office and left the building for the last time. And they had an applause for him, guys. An applause. Let me see if this is the only one I got here. Take a listen to this. A clap out. A clap out. That's the least we could do for you. This was yesterday. Thank you for your service. Again, and the U.S. aid, we've covered that extensively, what your tax dollars are being spent for. I don't say there was any good employees there. If you trust me with your money and I go spend all that money on things that are pretty much against the fundamentals of the United States, against the Western ways, and spend them in multiple countries for trans operas and all that, all these different things. You are not a good person. And if you knew about it, I think it's criminal. It might not legally be criminal, but I think it's criminal. Check this out. We got some good news here before we jump over to some Trump comments and a great video of Trump walking with little X. Must see. Check this out. We know that I covered that story of Kari Lake yesterday, talking about some of the contracts that she had cut off. Listen to this.
$250 million. Hi, America. I'm here in Washington, D.C. as Senior Advisor at United States Agency for Global Media. I'm working on behalf of you and President Trump and his administration, and I have been on the job for a couple of weeks now, and I'm horrified by some of the things I'm learning about this agency. I'm sitting here on the 13th floor of a shiny, brand new, beautiful skyscraper building that is costing you, the taxpayer, a fortune. The Biden administration folks who were running this agency before, right before they left office, signed a brand new lease for this building, a 15-year lease that's going to cost the taxpayer nearly $250 million. Here's the kicker. They already have a building that they're located in that is paid off, that they could have renovated or updated, but they chose instead to get us into a lease that's costing the taxpayer a fortune. I know that every one of you out there is working hard and parting with your tax dollars. You're expecting it to be used wisely, not misused and mismanaged. And I can tell you that this building is a colossal waste of money. Take a look at what's in this building. Fancy conference rooms with wall-to-wall windows. There's 26 conference rooms, at least. That's what I've counted in this building. There are 4 bridges to nowhere, massive waterfalls, Italian marble finishes everywhere, leather furnishings, all of this being paid for by the American taxpayer. And it's not the only thing we've seen. We are seeing grants where they've taken the grants and they've changed the contracts just days before we got in here to make it less transparent for us to find out where the money's going and what's happening with these grantees. It was an obvious sign that they wanted to keep us from finding out anything that we could possibly go in and change and make better for the American taxpayer. I want you to know I'm hard at work here in Washington, D.C. I'm working to make sure that we are not being bilked out of our hard-earned dollars. And we're going to make sure we're doing everything we can to cancel contracts that can be canceled, save money, downsize, and make sure there's no misuse of your dollars.
I love it, man. What a nice building. All your tax dollars. Like, these people were kings and queens, and we need, I'm surprised they didn't have a day where the public taxpayer didn't come in and wash their feet like they were Jesus. This is insane. And again, I'm glad Trump has appointed the people, especially people like Kari Lake. I love Kari Lake. I support Kari Lake 100%. It's just insane what we are finding out with this new administration. And Democrats don't care. You don't see any Democrats saying, hey, I seen Kari Lake's video. What do they need? Italian marble floor, 27 conference rooms, a building that looks like, and I've stayed in some nice hotels in my lifetime, and we've paid a pretty penny for hotels back in the day, years and years ago, when we would vacation. And I've never stayed in a hotel, and I've spent I think the highest we spent was like $450 a night in a hotel, but that was like 10 years ago. I never stayed in something that nice. Crazy. Dog Mom 1000 says, I'll take an office by a waterfall. Yeah, I need one in here. How about we get one of those little portable waterfalls and put in here? Caden would be in here just messing that thing up. I got a question in the comments, and it's from Karen. What's happening with Ben Martin? So Ben Martin is back home with his family here in town. He texted me the other day. We're going to be working on getting him on a show early next week. So I will text him on my trip this evening because I got a lot of stuff to do. But when we head out of town, I will text him and probably do Tuesday. Mondays are busy news days. You guys know that. So maybe Tuesday afternoon, if Ben is available, we'll get him on the air, and you guys can ask those questions, and you can just appreciate Ben for everything he's gone through. Prayers to his family. It's not over for him. He'll explain that. But yeah, thanks for asking, Karen. He's a great local patriot. We've done a lot of great stuff together, and it's just sad what the weaponized DOJ and the weaponized FBI has done to people like Ben, myself, and many others. And hopefully Corey Ledbetter out of the Fresno FBI is one of those that are getting the walking papers. He was the one that pretty much did that to Ben. Took those orders. I'll be a tyrant. My name's Corey. I'm a tyrant. So we'll look into that. But we'll have him on sometime next week. Yes, Ben Martin is back home. He's been back home since last week. What day was it? Friday or Saturday, I believe. I have to go back and look at my text messages. Check this out. This was an emotional moment for somebody. As you guys know, Dan Bongino aired his last show today because he is going to the FBI. Take a look at this. For those of you who are big Bongino fans.
That's crazy. Hope you guys enjoyed the show, man. That's one of those shows. That's one of the best shows. Man, I looked up and we say it's gone. Like I looked up and it's gone. Like I looked up, we were 2.5 hours in, but it just nothing. I got to keep my earpiece in that drawer. Gee, that drawer is only for me. Okay? Second drawer, right over there. That's what that
So he is moving on to bigger and better things. He did an epic job building the Dan Bongino show up. I've told you guys, I've met him. I like him. He was really down to earth. I think it was 2017 Politicon when it was in LA. And I'll tell you what, he didn't have a chip on his shoulder. He didn't act like he was better than anybody else. And he just sat there for 5-6 minutes, had a conversation with me before he was going to go up on stage. And I learned a lot going there because same thing with Tucker Carlson. I mean, Tucker Carlson was incredible. People were like screaming to get to Tucker, and I just happened to be there. I was like, hey, Tucker. And his security's pushing people back, and Tucker's like, no, let's talk to these people. It was pretty cool. But Dan Bongino is going to do great work for the American people, and I can't wait. I can't wait. Okay, so boom, it's been 33 minutes since we've been live, so that means no more entries into the raffle. I got a great video to show you right here. Let me check something out. I'll make sure I don't got any more notifications here. NOLA was the last notification I got 25 minutes ago. Let me check just in case. Nobody uses Give, Send, Go anymore. Man, that used to be our biggest fundraiser over a year ago. When maybe it was people on YouTube just like Give, Send, Go. I am not showing anything on Give, Send, Go. Let's go to Cash App. Again, no more entries. We're going to pull that winner. This looks the same as it was earlier. Yes, Bobby Rogers was the last one. And then Jalen from last night. And let me see. Just to make sure, Venmo. We got Angela from earlier. She got in for 4. Michael got in. Katie May got in. And Nola said, safe travels tonight, Josh. Thank you, Nola. Appreciate you. And BC Zell. And I got all the... Hey, when my app asked me to, can I use Face ID? Yeah, I've been using it for 100 days. Come on. There we go. Just want to make sure. Doesn't look like anything changed in there, but just to be on the safe side, we got. Oh, you know what? Do I got Sancia up there? Oh, I'm glad I double checked. That was from yesterday. Old Uncle Bill. I don't got Sancia up there, do I? Ooh, she would have been mad. She would have been driving down to Fresno. Whoop me. Let's put Sancia up there. Hey, she won on her birthday last time. And I will say this, guys, just for all honesty and clarity, Jan Garner offered to bribe me for picking her name. And you guys know I can't. It's automated right here, but shame on Jan. Old Uncle Bill is in there for, and I'll go through them all at the end, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, it looks like. That's what I think I have here. And that's why I double check at the end. I would have missed Sensia if I didn't. So. Well, maybe I read that wrong. Maybe it is 5, right? I think I put Sensia. Yeah, it was 30 and 20. So I'll fix that at the end. 30 and 20. So we'll get rid of one of those. All right, let's move on. Check out this video here again. No more entries into this. Tell me this ain't heartwarming here. Trump walking over to Marine One with little X, man. He looks excited, huh? It just reminds me of Caden, man. That is so cool, man. What a breath of fresh air compared to what we were seeing before, huh? And President Trump, we talked about this a little while ago when we were talking about the traitor Harry Dunn.
Don't use AutoPen. It's
listen to this. I was listening to this when I was prepping for the show earlier.
But you don't use AutoPen. It's number one, it's disrespectful to the office. Number two, maybe it's not even valid because, who's getting him to sign? He had no idea what the hell he was doing. If he did, all of these bad things wouldn't be happening right now. But you don't use AutoPen. It's number one, it's disrespectful to the office. Number two, maybe it's not even valid because,
And we've heard people talk about that. We've heard some legal scholars talk about that. Like, did Joe Biden know what that auto pin was signing? There was a lot of time when people were like, hey, wait a second, talking to Joe. One came out last week we covered. I can't remember what it was, but these people are talking to Joe Biden about something that he signed. Oh, it was Mike Johnson. Speaker Mike Johnson had some moments alone with him. And he goes, why'd you sign this? This is a real energy killer. He goes, I didn't sign that. He goes, no, you did. 2 weeks ago, you signed it. No, I signed something else. Didn't even have a clue what he was signing. And I think there could be some more of that. Really quick, let me do this while we're on here. Check this out. Are you ready to show your support and style? Sticker Mule has a fantastic offer just for you. For a limited time, you can grab a free Trump stickers. Yes, you heard it. That's right, free. Whether you want to decorate your laptop, car, or office space, these high-quality, durable stickers are perfect for making a statement. Just imagine how great they'll look, and they're super easy to apply. Head over, here's how it works. Head over to stickerpack.com. That's STICKERPAC.com. Sign up and claim your free stickers and watch the fun unfold. Don't miss out on this exclusive offer. Stock is limited, so act fast and spread the word and let your voice be heard with Sticker Mule's awesome stickers. Once again, visit stickerpack.com today and grab your free Trump stickers before they're gone. So head on over there, guys. Check that out, stickerpack.com. Get your free Trump stickers. Let's see what else we got here. He also spoke about some of the fentanyl coming over, some of the drug overdoses. I was listening to him speak about, they're going to do a real big advertising campaign. He said he spoke with the president of Mexico, and she says, we are not a consumer country of drugs. There's probably a lot of reasons for that outside of what she's stating, but they are a big exporter of drugs. Most of the drugs that we have here in the United States come from either our southern or northern borders, whether it's methamphetamine, heroin, fentanyl. And so Trump said that he was going to put a lot of effort into doing information to people. And he even made the comment, like, most people are kind of vain about their looks. He's like, other countries put on like some pretty hardcore advertisements about what drug. Remember the old drug, this is your brain on drugs. And then occasionally you would see like a very beautiful girl, and then it would give a transition over like 2-year period to where she just looked like a walking zombie with no teeth. That's something. But listen to what he says here. It's an interesting statistic.
The criminals pouring across our borders at record levels, and we're also stopping the massive quantities of deadly drugs. In 2023 alone, drug overdoses killed more Americans in 12 months than they did during the entire decade between 1980 and 1990, so 10 times more, but it's much higher than that. More Americans died from fentanyl last year than died in the Korean War, or the Iraq War, or the Afghanistan War, all of them combined. That's why I've placed large tariffs on Mexico, Canada, and China, and they will remain in place until these deadly poisons stop pouring into our country. And I will tell you, as soon as I put on the tariffs on Mexico, Canada, and China, unbelievable results have been seen in the last few weeks. Unbelievable results. They weren't happy about it. You probably read they weren't happy, but they are working like hell to end it. They weren't working very hard before I did that. We're stopping the criminals pouring across our borders at record levels.
He says more people died from fentanyl last year than in all those wars combined. And it's sickening. There's some great people on social media, especially out of San Francisco, that every day walk through San Francisco, the Tenderloin District and other ones, and show people on stretchers, all drug overdoses, 24/7. And Trump wants American people to stop overdosing. That's what the tariffs are for. I know Democrats have tried to make this political, and just like they did when we were saying, hey, we can't send all this money to Ukraine. We're kind of in a bind here in the United States. They just held up the Ukrainian flag. That's kind of what we see from the Democrats now. They're proudly supporting the folks with the Mexico flag, proudly saying, oh, I hope Canada puts higher tariffs. I mean, you literally have these people that hate Donald Trump so much, they are rooting against America. And they're miserable people. Nothing you can really do about it other than what we're doing. And that is, in 2 years from now, in a year from now, everything that happens is going to be excellent. Everything that happens. So we talked about this. We started talking about 3 weeks ago. Every week we hit on it a little more. So Democrats don't know what to do right now. They're a little shocked at how much support Republicans have. Every county in California, a blue state, and I will argue till I'm blue in the face with everybody says, oh, it's MAGA. It's not. You need to spend some time in these highly populated areas like San Francisco and LA. Now, if you take those areas out, we're pretty MAGA. Even some of the places like Modesto that people wouldn't think, there's a lot of conservatives there. And there's also a lot of Democrats that have gotten tired of their party. they have a young girl and they're like, I don't want a boy. I just can't get on track with wanting a boy to compete against my daughter. It just doesn't fit right. But the principles, we got to vote against Nazis, that kind of stuff they really worked on in 2016 is kind of faded out. So their new tactic is to send people in to Republican town halls and get people that have Trump derangement syndrome to speak against Republicans. And then they highlight that like, oh my God, are you kidding me? People with TDS don't like what Trump is doing. They don't even know what Trump is doing. They believe the lies. But I love this one. Again, this was the old Kamala Harris X page that transformed itself into Democratic Wins Media. It says, breaking: the turnout for Governor Tim Walz in Des Moines, Iowa, in a Republican district is incredible. This is huge. So this is what you're going to see. Tim Walz has already said he's going to go in red districts. So what they're doing is they're getting all their Democrats, they're getting all their phone bankers out, and they're saying, hey, we need you guys to travel over here, or if you're in the area, we need you guys to go. Tim Walz is going to be there again. We need to show the American people that we are still strong and we have a lot of support. And I just thought this was funny. This was the picture they shared right there. And they call it a Republican district. I can guarantee not one of those people have voted for a Republican in the last 3 elections. Promise you. And so because they can get their people to show up in a Republican district, that's winning somehow. That's winning. It's just crazy. Adam Schiff says it's one thing to watch a dictator grab power. It's another to hand it to him. I'm headed to the Senate floor right now to cast an emphatic no. Talk about dictators, liars, and traitors, man. That guy, I can't wait. I promise you, I don't say this lightly, but if that man ends up in handcuffs, I might just got that tattooed on my right arm, like right up here. Just him in an orange jumpsuit, hands behind his back, because that's what needs to happen. He's a traitor and he's lied to America. So the Senate has reached the 60 votes on a motion to close debate on the Continue Appropriation Act. Meaning that a government shutdown cloture is done. The government shutdown will be averted if everything continues going like that. Here, take a listen here.
On this vote, the yeas are 62, the nays are 38. 3/5 of the senators duly. On this vote, the yeas are 62, the nays are 38. 3/5 of the senators duly chosen and sworn have voted in the affirmative. The motion is agreed to.
So 62, we needed 60 votes. And the Democrats, man, we talked about crack in their shield. It's worse than a crack. They are literally, they have life rafts on the Titanic and they're puncturing holes in them as the Titanic's going down. That's what you are watching now. Enough Senate Democrats voted with Republicans to advance their funding bill, including the following 10. Let me show you who these were. Catherine Cortez Masto, Dick Durbin, John Fetterman, Kristen Gillibrand, Maggie Hassan, Angus King, Gary Peters, Brian Schatz, Chuck Schumer, and Jeanne Shaheen. I think those people were probably smarter. I think they seen the writing on the walls. But again, it is frustrating Democrats right now. I want to show you this video of Hakeem Jeffries snapping at reporters when they ask him a question. Listen to how the infighting with the Democrat Party, it is broken. We told you it was broken before the election, during the election, after the election. Take a listen.
No. Do not characterize.
No, my question was, why are you afraid to say this?
Do not characterize my remarks. I'm not afraid about anything.
But you went to another question twice.
Anything.
Isn't it a yes or no
question?
question?
I said I was very clear that we look forward to working with every single one of our Senate Democratic colleagues. Every single one of them. to push back against the Trump administration. Every single one.
You just said yes to having confidence in this would go away in many
Do
ways.
you think that this is what the American people care about right now? Or do they want us to do everything that we can to stop this partisan and harmful Republican bill from actually becoming law? Because that's what we as House Democrats are focused on.
You didn't.
Right? No. Do not characterize.
No, my question was, why are you afraid to say?
Do not characterize my remarks. I'm not afraid about anything.
Nah, sorry, guys. I'm just wondering. Oh, Uncle Bill said, Josh, you have never seen me in your gay bar. I didn't know I had a gay bar. Man, I got to catch up. I got to follow up on what's going on. But yeah, there you have Dollar Store Obama upset with the media because they asked him a simple question. Does the Senate need new leadership? And he said, next question. He didn't say, no, we support Chuck Schumer. And he still won't say anything about it. And it's definitely showing the cracks and the division. Really quick, this was from Frontlines from Turning Point USA. It says exclusive, despite mass deportation efforts and executive orders to pull funding from sanctuary cities and states, California is still handing out tax dollars to illegal immigrants. Says Sav spoke with a whistleblower in Los Angeles with the details about the efforts being made to keep providing illegal immigrants with cash and housing. Take a listen to this, and then we get into the raffle.
California, is this something that's still happening?
So they are receiving from $1,300 to $1,800 a month on cash every month, and then from $600 to $800, $900 on food.
This is Savannah Hernandez in front of one of the buildings that LA County has been using to house illegal immigrants throughout their state. Now, the reason I came to this address is because it's actually listed on Zillow for almost $1 million, meaning that rent would be about $4,000 every single month. Now, this address was also listed on several whistleblower documents that I received, detailing how migrants have been getting thousands of dollars every single month in the name of CalWorks, CalFresh, and Medi-Cal from the state of California. I sat down with the whistleblower who detailed all of this for us.
Regarding migrants being housed throughout California, is this something that's still happening?
Yes, they still are. They're still being housed. I don't know why, and sometimes for more than a year. Now, recently, I've heard of programs that they're housing them for a 5-year plan. So they are receiving from $1,300 to $1,800 a month on cash every month, and then from $600 to $800, $900 on food stamps, CalFresh. I did several jobs, and one of them was working at the DPSS, the Department of Social Services office, where they go apply for all the CalFresh and CalWorks. CalWorks is cash. So every month they have an EBT card, which is like a debit card, and you can go to any ATM and take that cash out. They can use the money for whatever they want.
Now, at this location, we had a family of 4 that received over $2,300 in cash assistance every single month from March to December of 2024, and that's on top of food stamps. And this is one of many locations where migrants have been housed throughout the state of California. We were also given another address by our whistleblower, and she stated that there were reports of 7 to 10 Venezuelans living in this 2-bedroom unit. She states that oftentimes many of these families will try to live in the same location so they can avoid paying rent while still getting the same amount of welfare as if they were paying rent. So a lot of fraud going on with these programs.
And can you tell me any personal stories or families that you worked with that you've caught in a lie or you've caught taking advantage of the system?
All of them. All of them. They will lie. They will say, oh, they let me go. And, sometimes they let themselves go. They don't get let go of jobs. They quit because they don't have a need. They don't have they're not really worried about having something stable because they have all these free resources.
Some of the other documents highlighted how these migrants were asking to have their children enrolled in schools and were enrolling them in schools, how they were also trying to apply for Section 8 housing and get on the list for benefits that typically were only provided to American citizens. On top of that, they also have tiny villages throughout LA County that were created for homeless Americans. However, you also have migrants that are now living in those locations as well.
The rules are always changing. So for the longest time, we weren't allowed to uh, make them eligible to receive these services. But then all of a sudden, with the new programs that the Biden administration put, then they were changing. Then all of a sudden, we have immigrants that are here receiving these resources that before it was only for American citizens. See, Section 8, all of a sudden, now illegal immigrants can apply. If you're here illegally, if you're homeless, you can get your apartment deposit taken care of, so you can get yourself an apartment. And another thing, a lot of them, the majority want to go back. They do not want to stay in the U.S. They are not interested in staying here. They don't like it. They don't like it. They have this sort of entitlement that their culture is better. And you know what? I'm just going to be here, make some money, and go back home, but I'm not going to go back home empty handed.
Not going to go home empty handed. It's what we talk about all the time, the entitlement of these people. We've seen it when they crossed the border and they would wave their country's flag on U.S. soil. Nothing seems to amaze me anymore. We were blessed that you guys put us out there. Thank you to you guys. Without you guys, we wouldn't have any of the documentation that we've had over the last 4 years of our southern border. And we spent months down there over the 4 years. And can't agree more that, but again, California is doing everything. We covered yesterday that Gavin Newsom is asking for a $3.44 billion loan because Medi-Cal is bankrupt. They needed money to pay urgent payments because they've gave 9.5, that's the cost, $9.5 billion of healthcare to illegal aliens. People that are not working, people that are not participating in our economy, people that came here illegally and are being sheltered by Democrats with your tax dollars. And it needs to come to an end. Let me shut this down. Caden's outside. That's my notification. Caden's outside. So we got, let me pull this up on the board right here. I'm just going to go through and show you guys what we have here. We have Cade Tex. I think you're in the house right now. You were in the house when the show started. We got you for 6. Marcia C. for 1. Old Uncle Bill for 5. Sancia for 3. Michael L. for 2. Katie M. for 5. Angela for 4. 2 and 2. Bobby Rogers for 2. Jalen for 1. Matt for 2. Mom X Swift for 2. Jan Garner for 3. And again, Jan Garner, if she wins, there's probably going to be an audit. I really think there's going to be an audit. Let me turn this off. And UP True Breed for 2. Robert Benji, KLM 79, and Nola. I want to check the comments here really quick and just make sure that nobody's in here. Robert Benji, KLM. So I think we are correct. Let me just double check this really quick if we can get this thing to shush. Make sure. Cash App. Refresh it. Yes, Bobby Rogers was the last one. Close that out. Venmo. Nola was the last one. Then we had Angela 2 times. Michael, Katie May, you're on there for 5. And double check. Zelle. Bill had 20. Bill had 30. Sancia had 30. And Kate had 60. So we're good there. And I don't think anybody used Give Sing Go, but let's check that out again. And we got everybody that did yeah. Matt says, don't make us send Elon to your house. Yeah, you're gonna send Dojo over here if I don't get this right. Oh, so is SpaceX leaving? Are they heading off to go get the astronauts? Is that what the talk is? Astronauts going to the space station in 6 minutes. We'll put that on right after we do this. So we'll get to watch a little of that. So you guys know the rules. Pick a number. First one is how many times we're going to shuffle this. First number to come up. 7. So we got it on here. Let's do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Again, it's all generated. It looks like it did a pretty good job. And now we are going to, I think, full screen here. Let me see if I can do this. I can be up here with you. So good luck, all. A lot of people picked 7. Check that out. Robert, Benji, Mom, Xlift, Hunter. All right, here we go. Here we go. On 3. 3, 2, 1. Let's see who the lucky winner is. Okay, Tex. There you go, buddy. There you go. Congratulations. Do me a favor. Do me a favor. And again, congratulations. I think that's your first win. So that is awesome. If you would, shoot me an email at oreoexpress@yahoo.com. I will reply this evening with your gift code for the website. And then I need an address on where to ship this to, the hat to. And I will get that shipped out on Monday. So thank you so much. And who knows what we pick up over the weekend? I might be able to throw something in there. Maybe like a face mask from Antifa or something, a real true collector's item. But congratulations. Thank you again for your guys' support. We can't do any of this without our viewers, and we appreciate you. So let me see what's going on. Let me see if I can get this up right now. This is live. That was an hour ago they launched something. Crew, is it the Crew 10 mission?
We're now 40 seconds into today's flight. Power and telemetry nominal. Continuing to get good performance call outs.
Oh, that's the only thing I go to is X.
The engines in preparation for Max Q. What great timing that was. We just passed through Max Q. That's the largest structural load that the vehicle will see on ascent.
Vehicle supersonic. Stage 1, throttle up.
We're now just over 1 minute and 10 seconds into today's flight, traveling at more than 1,400 miles per hour.
Stage 1 Bravo.
And we just heard that call out for 1 Bravo, which means we're in the second and final abort mode for the first stage, continuing to get good performance. And the crew already pulling over 2 Gs. Next up, we'll have a couple of events happening in rapid succession.
Back chill started.
First will be that engine chill on the second stage impact engine, which we just heard. And then we'll have MECO, or main engine cutoff.
Amazing
where the 9
to watch.
engines on the first stage will cut off ahead of the first and second stages. Will be separating from one another. Then the single Merlin vacuum engine on the second stage will ignite and continue to carry Crew 10 to orbit while the first stage begins its journey back to Earth. Now we're just 2 minutes into today's flight. The vehicle is traveling just under 4,000 miles per hour.
We're just about 20 seconds away from those events that Anna just mentioned. The 9 Merlin engines will shut down here in just about 10 seconds for
Stage 1 throttle down.
MECO, stage separation, and SES1.
Main engine cutoff.
SpaceX Dragon, 2 Alpha. Stage separation confirmed.
Copy, 2 Alpha.
Wow.
Great callouts and incredible views there on your
And back
left-hand
ignition.
screen. On your left-hand screen, you can see a view from stage 1.
There's that cool look.
And an extremely excited crowd here in Hawthorne. Awesome views of that boost back burn on the first stage, as well as the MVAC engine igniting on the second stage. Great views there. Now the booster is in its boost back burn. This is the first of 3 burns as it makes its way back down to Earth. This will last about 45 seconds. And the crew, 10 crew, is still on board Dragon attached to Falcon 9 second stage, which you can see there on your right-hand screen.
And we're now at 3 minutes and 20 seconds into today's flight. The vehicle is traveling about 6,500 miles per hour. They are on their way to the space station. And we did have that confirmation coming up of the boost back shutdown. And then coming up at the T plus 6 minute mark.
Wow.
And there we have our first images of the crew inside the Dragon spacecraft as they make their way into orbit. And the crew
Dragon, SpaceX, nominal trajectory.
continuing to get good call outs.
SpaceX Dragon, copy nominal.
Stage 2, it continues to be on power with in its firing until we get to that second stage engine cutoff around the 9 minute mark of flight. About 5 minutes of flight to go before Dragon will be flying free.
Some cool views there on your left-hand screen. That's the first stage booster as it's making its way back down to Earth. This is a ground tracking camera getting these awesome views.
And on the right-hand side of your screen, you can see that lone Merlin vacuum engine of the second stage. We're continuing to get good performance on the second stage. And the crew's G-loads will dip right when we hit the separation events, and it's going to continue to build up until then.
Dragon, SpaceX, nominal trajectory.
SpaceX Dragon, copy nominal.
We're now at 5 minutes into today's flight with a liftoff at 7:03 p.m. Pacific, 7:03 p.m. Eastern, 4:03 p.m. Pacific. Continuing to get good call-outs as Stage 1 makes its way back to Earth, and Stage 2 continues to fire, propelling Dragon into orbit.
If you're just now joining us, the 4 members of Crew 10 launched from Launch Complex 39A at Kennedy Space Center in Florida. And they're currently on board Dragon, still attached to Falcon 9 second stage, which you're seeing there on your right-hand screen. On your left-hand screen, the first stage vehicle is making its way back down to Earth. It already completed the first of 3 burns as the boost back burn, and the next event coming up for that vehicle is going to be the entry burn.
Dragon, SpaceX, nominal trajectory.
Great call outs there. That entry burn is coming up.
SpaceX Dragon, copy nominal.
That entry burn is coming up here in just under 20 seconds. We'll reignite 3 of those 9 Merlin 1D engines to help slow the vehicle down as it makes its way back into the Earth's atmosphere.
This is
We're now
insane.
just over 6 minutes into today's flight as Dragon and the second stage continue traveling at over 12,000 miles per hour, making their way into orbit and on the way to the International Space Station.
There we just saw on the screen, it was very quick, but we had the entry burn, which we got some cool views of that from the ground, which is awesome. Now the next event coming up will be the landing burn for the first stage. That's coming up here in about 30 seconds.
Dragon, SpaceX, nominal trajectory.
And great call outs for
SpaceX Dragon, copy nominal.
Confirmation there from the crew as they continue to make their way into orbit. Now 7 minutes into today's flight, the first stage making its way back down to Earth and the second stage continuing to fire.
This is an awesome view. Let's see if we can see the center engine relight for that landing burn here in a few seconds.
There it goes.
There's that landing burn. Let's watch as Falcon 9 touches down on landing zone 1.
Stage 2 SES complete.
Incredible.
And the crowd here is excited to see Falcon 9 touch down on landing zone 1.
And now that the first stage has made its way back to Earth, we're about a minute away from the second engine cutoff, which we're expecting around the 9-minute mark of today's flight. We're continuing to get good call-outs, and Dragon and all of the systems on the vehicle are performing as expected. Just over 8 minutes into today's flight, traveling more than 21,000 miles per hour.
21,000 miles.
Terminal guidance.
Hearing good call-outs. We're about 30 seconds away from that second engine cutoff, and then shortly after that, about a minute or so later, we will have orbital insertion.
SpaceX Dragon, Shannon.
SpaceX copy, Shannon.
And that call out there for Shannon, and that is the call out for Shannon, Ireland, which is the final abort stage for the second stage off the coast of Ireland. Standing by for a second engine cutoff.
And back shutdown.
Look at that thing, man. Shut down.
Dragon SpaceX, nominal orbit insertion.
And there we heard confirmation
Launch
of
escape system disarmed.
good confirmation of orbital insertion. Crew 10 is now well on their way to the International Space Station following a 9.5-minute flight uphill.
Now, the second stage is preparing for Dragon separation here, which should happen shortly. In about 10-15 seconds is what we're expecting. And we're preparing for
There it goes.
stabilizing the second stage so that we can have a smooth separation.
And there you can see on the left-hand side of your screen, the crowd is going wild.
That is epic.
There on your screen, you can see that Dragon separation, that second stage making its way. And Dragon is now flying free. 10 minutes into today's flight, that was about a minute after we had that second engine cutoff and orbital insertion. It looks like a good separation, good rates. Dragon now flying free. There on the right-hand side of your screen, you can see some first images of Crew 10 inside the Dragon Endurance spacecraft as they're now successfully in orbit.
Dragon, SpaceX Chief Engineer on Countdown 1. On behalf of the entire Falcon team, we thank you for flying with Falcon and wish you a great mission. Over to LD.
That's crazy.
It was an honor flying with you this evening. We wish you well on your journey and give Crew 9 our best. Thank you for flying SpaceX.
Thank you for flying SpaceX. Anybody know how long it takes to get to
Dragon, this is Crew 10 Commander Ann McLean. Thank you to all of the
anybody
teams
knows
across
how
the
long
world
it'll
that
take them to get to the
launch
space
today.
station? I haven't looked at
Spaceflight
that
is
yet.
tough, but humans are tougher. Days like today are made possible only when people choose to do the harder right over the easier wrong. Build relationships, choose cooperation, and believe in the inherent goodness of all people across the world. To my family and friends, without you, I would not be here. Explore boldly, live gracefully, go Crew 10. And over to pilot Nicole Ayers.
Pilot Nicole Ayers again. We're not the first humans to get to orbit, and we wouldn't be here without the bravery and hard work of those who have paved the way for human spaceflight. We now get the unique perspective of Earth without borders and get to revel in the connectedness of humanity. I would be remiss to not once again acknowledge those who helped me get here to this wonderful view and this perspective. to the teachers, coaches, fellow officers,
3 days.
Raptor Nation, to my friends and family that encouraged my dreams from the start. Thank you. I wouldn't be here without you.
This is Mission Specialist Takuya Onishi. I want to say a huge thank you to NASA and SpaceX, especially the Falcon 9 team for the successful launch, and we are looking forward to a smooth ride to the International Space Station. 日本の皆さん、たくさんの応援ありがとうございます。9年ぶりの無重力の感覚をかみしめてます。これから先の ISS への宇宙の旅、楽しんでいきたいと思います。I will now hand the mic over to Mission Specialist Kirill.
Thanks a lot to NASA and SpaceX for this wonderful ride, and I want to say a couple of words in Russian. Пользуясь такой чудесной возможностью, хочу поздравить с 65-летием со дня начала подготовки первого отряда. И также хочу сказать спасибо большое за те знания и жизненный опыт, который мной были получены в всех стенах для того, чтобы выполнить этот полет. А также спасибо школе номер 14 города Назарова, Ульяновскому высшему авиационному училищу гражданской авиации и авиакомпании МКАР и Нордвин, где я начинал свой путь в небо. И, конечно же, спасибо большое семье и за поддержку.
It looks like they've done it in 16 hours on April 27th. That was the shortest flight time.
At this time, I can report nominal dehumidifier activation and service section Draco checkouts.
Elon Musk's space flight company launched 4 crew, 4 astronaut to the International Space Station for NASA in less than 16 hours on Wednesday, April 27th, the shortest flight time since SpaceX began. Hold on. The astronauts arrived at the space station later that night. So it's saying SpaceX launched the Crew 4 astronauts on a new Dragon capsule called Freedom and Falcon 9 rocket at 3:52 a.m. from Pad 39A of the Kennedy Space Center in Florida. The astronauts arrived at the space station later that night, docking at 7:37 p.m. 15 hours and 45 minutes. So it's probably going to be about 16 hours again. But that was pretty cool to watch, guys. Hey, again, if you guys can, make sure you're following us on on Twitch and Kick. We'll probably be doing a live stream just fun tonight as we travel up north or south. I don't know yet. But north or south, we'll be traveling. And if you guys want to join us, keep us company on the road and check some behind-the-scenes stuff out, Oreo Express on Twitch and on Kick, guys. Follow us over there. We might not hit Rumble because we like to do Rumble for the shows, podcast, and actual live stream and events. So I want to say thank you to everybody that tuned in. We will be seeing you in a couple hours. God bless you and have an absolute awesome afternoon. Enjoy your weekend. Make sure you're with us this weekend. We'll have some stuff going on, and we appreciate all you guys tuning in. And God bless y'all. Have a wonderful, wonderful weekend.